I believe you're interested in the big question, what's next as we go on our electrification journey as a nation towards zero emissions by 2050. Very specifically, the recipe for households is simple, the execution is difficult. It's electrified the main sources of energy use in your house. That's the hot water, the space heating, the vehicles, the cooking, add solar and battery to that. So they're what I think of as the 5 or 6 big decisions that every Australian household is going to make over the next 2 decades. We're seeing increasingly good policy like battery rebates to help get that done. Hopefully the Australian government will help with financing schemes. A lot of the work for on-the-ground community groups is just helping communicate that. We're learning at the electrification project in 2515 that communities need hand-holding, people are nervous about making these decisions, what do they mean? Is the policy going to change in the future? Will they get stuck? Which tradie should I use? There's a lot of just, which car should I buy, which cooktop? Helping everyone navigate that personal journey is what we can do in households and our communities. The next step in that journey is all of our small businesses. They own vehicles, they burn fuels. Many of the loads and the solutions are the same as they are for our households. Then the slightly larger thing is encouraging and getting our larger local businesses, whether it's the Bunnings, whether it's the Woolies, to put solar on their roofs, solar over their car parks, vehicle charging infrastructure. We need to see a lot of vehicle infrastructure for charging throughout every community. There's going to be an excess of solar during the day. We'd like the cars to be charging, so we need chargers to go in the communities where cars are during the day. That'll be sort of a system effect that we need to get done. And then that excess solar from those commercial rooftops, they can help fill out the energy needs of all of our communities. That will help with renters and strata. That'll help lower energy prices for all. One of my favourite things, even though it's wonky and a bit hard, is fixing the regulations and the market design of the electricity market in Australia. So as we do this, it gets cheaper for everyone. So that's things like helping trading from neighbour to neighbour. So rather than being forced to sell my solar electricity way back up the network, I'll be allowed to sell it to my neighbour. My neighbour will get cheap electricity. I'll get a little more for my excess solar. And if we enable those neighbour-to-neighbour interactions, that's actually how we build the cheapest energy system in Australia. All of those things don't get us all the way to zero emissions. We also need to electrify our industry. We need to build homes that are more efficient and critically that last longer. So as much as half of the energy that your home will use has been used before you've even turned the key to open the front door for the first time. So it's the energy embodied in the construction. So well-designed homes that are energy efficient, that also last, not 20 years, but hopefully 100 or more years. That's what we need to be building. Then we need to make a green industry that can make all of the materials from those homes, including things like green steel. These are longer, harder industrial projects, but they're very critical to an industry-heavy country like Australia. The good news is those things are coming. We need more electric mass transit, including rail. One of my secret wishes is and I believe it is technically and economically feasible, is an ultra-fast train up and down the East Coast, Brisbane to Melbourne. That would be fantastic. Electric aircraft are on the way. Australia has a giant opportunity to contribute to that. That would be a great way to connect all of our regional towns with clean, efficient transportation. And then, of course, cleaning up our food system. A lot of that will just be electrifying the tractors, electrifying the farms, using heat pumps to operate dairy farms rather than natural gas. These types of things will green up the ecosystem that we live in. Just approximately half of our emissions are decisions you control in your home and in your small businesses. The other half are the emissions that come from the industry that makes all the things that make the Australian lifestyle. So really the comprehensive story is to get on with the job on the things that we already know how to do. Your cars, your homes, your small businesses. Invest in the network things we need to do. There's the big transmission network, the public transit systems, the vehicle charging systems that makes it easy for everyone, and then invest in the future technologies to green Australian industry. which looks like using electricity to make green steel and other opportunities like that. So good luck on your journey. Thank you for your work. We are learning that it's all about trusted communication, talking to your neighbours, helping them go on this journey. So thank you for your efforts in helping us do that.